What's going on? We back. It's the Box Clinic and more. We talking about the Super WBA title. We talking about the origin of it. We talking about how they're supposed to take it away, and does the Super Champion have a mandatory? And shout out to Bear Facts for inspiring this video in the comment section. So one time for Mr. Bear Facts, and we're gonna get into the Super WBA champion. We're gonna explain what Keith Thurman was saying when Floyd Mayweather was Super WBA champion. He couldn't touch him. We're gonna elaborate on all that, and you probably heard they was trying to slim down the number of regular champions that the WBA had, and they did. But eventually, they probably got a little light in pockets, and they reverted back to adding the regular champion, especially in the super featherweight division. That's what Gervonta Tank Davis could be fighting for, and I'm not calling him a real world champion because the regular WBA championship ain't a real world champion, in my opinion. I'll get into that in a minute, but here we go. The WBA recognized the title holders from WBC, WBO, IBF organizations. WBA refers to a champion who holds two or more of these titles in the same weight class as a super champion, unified champion, undisputed champion. This applies even if the WBA is not one of the titles held by the undisputed champion. In September 2008, for example, Nate Campbell, the Galaxy Warrior, y'all know what it is, was recognized as the WBA undisputed champion at lightweight due to holding the WBO and the IBF as well, while WBA's regular champion was some other guy. I'm not going to pronounce his name. If a fighter with multiple titles also holds the WBA title, the fighter is promoted to super champion, and the WBA titles, which is referred to as the regular title, is pretty much vacant, and it goes to the two titleists who pay the most money to the WBA. Supposed to be the most high rank, but that rarely happens in every sanctioned belt body. And the WBA super champion and the other champion is known, in the same weight class, known as regular and super champion. So that's why you see the champion first, and then you see the other champion under it be the regular champion. The WBA champion may be promoted to super champion without winning another organization's title. Chris John, who Marquez Crowder said he robbed him, and Floyd Mayweather, another guy, are examples. The WBA will also promote their titleists to super champion when they successfully defend the title 5 times. As of 2017, the WBA continues to issue regular titles, despite having previously stated that they will seek to reduce the number of titles to 1 per weight class, and that's what we was talking about. If you watched my Tank Davis video yesterday about him and his Jesus Cellier guy, Andrew Cellier, whatever this guy's name is, the Jesus dude, he lost to Adam Mars on Fox last year, and he off a loss and moving up in weight, he gets a shot at the regular WBA title, which was taken away from the super featherweight division. It's only one champion there. They brought it back. They need that guap, so Tank will be fighting for the regular WBA title. So maybe he ain't gonna go for Tevin then. That's the conversation I didn't have. But if he's a regular WBA champion, maybe he get a chance to fight the super champion. But the super champion does not have a mandatory. That's what Keith Thurman meant when he said I couldn't touch Floyd, because either they paid their way or they got the clout like Floyd. Chris John has some clout as well too, to be super champion or defended it 5 times in a row, and now they're the super champion and they don't have the mandatories, or they got a WBC or WBO title belt to go with it, the WBA title, so they can move how they want to move. So in the WBA, Keith Thurman will have no mandatory. So basically, he a champion that's looking. The Super WBA championship allows you to unify. It promotes unification. That's the good thing about it. It don't hold you back from mandatory. So if Keith Thurman was a Super WBC champion, which WBC has been rumored to be adding a super champion, super champions have an upside. Excuse me, mouth a little dry. They have an upside, and the upside is it's easier to unify when you're a super champion. You don't have a mandatory, so you can move how you want to move. You can unify. But I think it should be a bylaw if they had a super champion to all the weight classes, which most people think it's a horrible thing. You doubling up the belts, but it would actually be a positive from the simple fact that it can promote unifying, because you don't have no mandatory, so you should be able to unify. Boom, 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 boom. One champion. And it should state in the bylaws, if more belts do it, or in the WBA, if you don't unify by this number of fights, then you subject to have to fight a mandatory, or you're subject to be stripped, or you subject to have to fight the regular WBA champion. And then what I'm saying, you have to you have to do something in these rankings. You just can't sit up there and just do what you want to do. And I think that's a very, very positive thing. If they can write that in the bylaws, and if more sanctioned bodies want to do super, it's not the worst thing in the world. I know it's creating more belts, but actually it's promoting undisputed champion, supporting unification. So that's the flip side on it. And if they put something in the bylaws saying by this many fights, if you don't unify, or you can't come to an undisputed class, no matter what, you got to fight the regular champion, or you got to fight the next man up. So at the end of the day, it's not the worst idea. I was very, very against it, but now kind of, seeing the possibilities and the flexibility that it could bring. I mean, it's not the worst thing. It's promoting undisputed and supporting unifying the belts. So, I mean, that's not bad. We need more, undisputed champions. And, it's not the worst thing in the world. Let me know how y'all think about it. If you got anything else on a WBA super champion or regular champion, anything you want to chop up in the comment section, let's get it. We gone.